Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Welcome everyone. Gladys, I hope you've sorted out your car insurance. You know, you've been stuck otherwise. Is the car insurance sorted?
I'll call after the show because
Okay.
they wanted to put me on hold for 7 minutes, so I'll call back.
7 minutes? That's quick, right? In the UK, that's quick. It's like an hour and a half later, you're still there thinking, "Phone, please don't fall off. Please don't fall off. Not today. Please don't fall." And then it falls off. And you're like, "Yeah, we're
So how you doing today? Hello, Calm.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How was your Labor
I'm all
Day?
right, Gladys. How are you?
What did you do on
I'm
Labor
glad
Day?
that you're here.
It was quiet. I stayed home because I was out the previous day with my niece and her kids, so I was kind of busy.
Yeah, cool. And Michael, now how was your Labor Day? What do you do? This happy Labor Day thing that only Americans have.
Unlike Gladys, I slept, and I also walked. I got up, I walked about a bit, and then I went back to sleep.
Lucky you is what I say. Lucky you. Look, our guest speaker is here, Tobiloba. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Welcome.
Good to be here.
I figured let's go live because you get here sooner or later. But you're here now, so I might just add to my YouTube on my phone. All right. Okay. Superb. Now, we're having a full complement of superstars here. Nat, welcome. How are you doing? Nat, you can join the studio, right, Nat? You got the link. And the link is on the comment page as well. So Michael, welcome to Michael's all the way in Brazil from Nigeria.
Leave Natalie alone. Let her be.
Hey?
Leave Natalie alone. Let her be.
I would like her to join the studio, really. But she really does. So
she can do what she wants to do. Leave her alone.
If you don't talk in my event, you don't join the studio in my event, Michael, our friendship's not the same.
Well, that's why I'm always here.
Exactly. I'm saying if you didn't, our friendship would be so different. Of course, I love Natalie. I talk to her most days, I'm saying, but she has to learn to just start coming and talk to us. Anyway, LinkedIn user. I have no idea what LinkedIn user is. So I need to find out. So I'm going to have to open the LinkedIn tab and then join the event page. Tobiloba, no, you're here. You're too quiet, my friend. How are you doing?
Great to be here. Happy new month. It's another great day, another new month to do better, to help people, right?
Yeah, it's a big month. It's a big month. This is a huge month. It's a huge month.
We can do better we can do better for the remaining 4 months. You can definitely get more than what you've gotten since the last 8 months. But depend on what you do. It has to do with what you do. So it's what you do that really matters, right?
I agree. Yeah, they said my Ghana conference is getting closer and closer and closer. Yay! That's what I say. Yes, I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. So I can't wait. Dr. Yvonne, LinkedIn user. Welcome, Dr. Yvonne. So Dr. Yvonne does support, I guess store owners, women, small businesses in Uganda. So I'm glad you're here. So do join us on stage, Dr. Yvonne. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, Nat. You're a star. And April, welcome as well. Great to have you here. So my friend, the link is in the comments. If you're here, drop us a comment, say hi, so I can welcome you properly. Of course, if you've got any questions or comments on our topic today, don't be shy. Share. Let us know what you're thinking. I'm sure we'll do our best to answer any questions that you do raise in the comments. Otherwise, you can just share your insights. So we'd love to learn from you. So, look, as much as I'm excited, maybe let me start the show properly and then let's get going. That way, we might leave here on time. I don't know. We're not going to be here I guess 90 minutes is what I normally set for these events. I'm saying we're going to be around that. So I have another event at 8 o'clock. 2.5 hours away. We're not going to be here that long. I promise you. But so look, for those who don't know me, for those who know me, I'm still doing what I do, which is my day today has been spent publishing my friend's book, Scott Stewart, The Man in the Mirror. His book is about before we die, the things that we need to do. It sounds grim, but it's a beautifully written book. It's a well-written book, and I guess it gives you steps to live rather than waiting to die. I like that idea. But of course, we're all gonna die, right? Are you ready? If you were to die tomorrow, would you have regrets about things you haven't done? That can mean anything. That could mean, the people, the things you haven't said to people that you want to say. Oh, so hold on. Myself twice. On my LinkedIn page. Come on, LinkedIn, move. Yes, my tab was not going anywhere. So anyway, I've killed that one now, so I'm all right again. I said Scott's message is really, life is for living. So live the life that you want. But make sure that you give people the right emotions and the compassion, the kindness that they need that we all need when our time comes to be going, right? Have you ever thought that if a relative is going, they're on deathbed, what are you going to do? How are you going to support them? What support would you need? I think there's also practical issues. So you can say I love this. Well, obviously, I played with this book for the last 3 days, so I'm kind of halfway through it. I was like, this is so sad. What are you going to say to your wife? What's your parting words to your kids? I'm like, oh, it's so miserable. But it's not really. It's empowering. So we have to. We don't think about these things. We need to work out these things. Who knows where all your bank accounts are? Who knows where who your phone contract is with? Who knows where your investments are? I'm saying these are practical things that we need to make sure people know before we go, right? You have to keep a record of your pensions, your investments, your money, even your debts. Because your next of kin, those who remain, will have to deal with these things. So there's practical steps, but there's also what is your bucket list? What's the things you want to do before you die? Really? Think about it. Anyway, now I'm going to bring Scott to the world. I say now the book is published. So we are going to, he's coming to Ghana to come and speak on stage there as well as a keynote speaker. And then I don't know whether we're going to launch the book before or after Ghana. I'm easy. I don't think we've got enough time to do before Ghana. But we may well do. But when we do it, then you will know for sure, right? So. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, helping my friends to write their book, publish their book, and just market their books, launch their books really, and then make them bestsellers. So, of course, events like this, is one of my things. So, and I guess by the time we get to the end of the month, I'll be over. When you say it's an exciting month, isn't it? It's a month to do things. I'll be able to have keynote speaker on my profile. I'm excited by that. Even though I said they thought of talking for 20 minutes on the stage in front of 2,500 people. Yeah, it takes a breath, it takes the breath out of you. But I'm excited. I've already started practicing. So I may use my chorus today before we go. I think it ties into your message up a little bit. So, so that's me. So if I can help you, let me know. If you can help me, let me know. So let's talk. And Dr. Yvonne's one of my favorite test people because we'll do a room together, and we're also working on a couple of her books together as well. So Dr. Yvonne, our import-export business support African small businesses. What's happened to it, Dr. Yvonne? What's happened? We need to get that going and get that going again, Dr. Yvonne. There's more than Natalie and Dr. Yvonne here, so I can see there's lots of people here. So my friends, do say hello, say something, say where you're joining us from. Maybe share some thoughts on our topic today, right? See, our topic today is part of our Thinking Differently series. I think two weeks ago, we talked about the power of dreams. That's my topic. That's why I talk about it. That's, I think our dreams hold the key to all that we are and all that will become. April, of course, I see you as well. So Tobiloba's topic is the power of beliefs. He truly, I guess, like, here's the logic. As Africans, we still think small. We think, I can't do it because you don't know the problems I have. Oh, I need money. I need funding. So stop thinking like that. That's not your problem. The problem is how you think. The problem is your beliefs. If you believe lack of money is going to stop you doing what you want to do, changing the world, living the life you want to live, achieving your dreams, building wealth, success, and happiness, it will. If you think the other way, life will give you all that you need to achieve everything you want to achieve. It's all about beliefs, right, Tobiloba? Hopefully you can still hear me, Tobiloba, right?
Definitely.
My friend,
it's all about belief.
So look, I'll give you the mic. So share with us what you want to share with us. So Gladys, Mr. Calm, great to have you in the studio already. So we'd love to hear your thoughts as we go along. Tobiloba, I'll give you the mic, my friend.
All right, thank you so much. For those who really do not know me, or probably this will be the first time you'll be hearing from me. My name is Tobiloba, just like you see it on the screen, right? And I've been in the goal of helping business for more than 3 years now. I've been a copywriter, not just a copywriter, but what I focus on is more differently, because one thing I understand about sales and marketing is that if you believe that this is what you want to achieve, definitely you should be ready to grow and do what you need to do in that regard. So going business these days, or in the world that we are, comes with a hidden burden, right? You could be able to attract attention, people that visit, click, and even inquire. Sales could come maybe once in a while, but unpredictable. All right, that's why I come up with my system, which I call the client flow system. It's a system that I'm even documenting a book on it, and it's going to be out before the end of this month. Very soon, maybe in about a week or two. I've been working on it, but this is just my first time making public announcement about it. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking more about it. So let's just dive into why we are here today. Thank you so much, Mr. Eni. You've been a blessing so far. You've been a very great blessing. And when you say you make people famous, definitely you do, because many people have got to know me through your show and through you. I just see some people just come to my DM. I just go to meet many people, because you put us, give us the platform. Thank you so much. All right. So just like I said, it's all about belief. It's all about what you want. It's all about what you see. And the truth of the matter is that you cannot attract what you don't see. And then it is not possible for you to achieve what you don't believe in. I've got to realize something, or let me say, I've got to understand something, that you cannot go beyond what you see, or you cannot attract more than what you believe that is going to happen to you, because there's no how you believe in negative things, or you only think about things that is not working, yet you want to attract what is working, definitely is definitely not going to work. All right, definitely not going to work. So what I want you to come along with me today, what I want you to understand is that if truly you want to grow a business, if truly you want to make things work out for you, if truly you want your business to grow, if truly you want to see a better thing in your life, if truly you just want to see yourself in a better place, you definitely need to believe more. What you don't believe, you cannot attract, just like I said. So in terms of, it now starts from your belief system. It starts from within. It starts from what you see. It starts from how you perceive life. It starts from what you see about your business, about your growth. That's what you need to put at the back of your mind. Because whatever you see, whether negative or positive, is what you are going to attract. Whatever you see in your business, whether local, whether BS customers, like bullshit customer that really do not even have your time, or do not have the money to patronize you or to buy your product and service, that's the kind of people you are going to attract. So you need to understand that for life to change, for business to transform, for things to take another turn, it has to be from the mind. It has to be what you believe that is going to happen. So it's not about how am I going to get it done. It's about what am I thinking. What comes first is that, what am I thinking about? Have you changed your belief system? Do you see differently? Do you believe that you are capable of bringing transformation to your life? Do you believe that you have the capacity to achieve more things for yourself? So what are the old beliefs that we see in African business, that we see in the world today, that we see in in individual founders' life? Why? Why do we all continue to complain the same thing? Why do we continue to say the same thing? That is definitely because we all think the same way. We all think the same way. We see the same thing. So if you can just give yourself that opportunity to first of all see differently, then you could be able to achieve more. You could be able to see more. So first thing you want to understand is that as an entrepreneur, as a professional who is here on LinkedIn, who do one thing or the other, you cannot have a negative belief, right? You cannot see yourself small and you want other people to see you small, to see you big. No, you cannot sell yourself small and then you want people to pay you a higher price. About me that you are going to believe. You will not address me with another word I did not tell you about myself. So you've got to know that what definition of yourself are you giving to people? What definition of yourself do people have in mind? You need to understand that, because you cannot achieve beyond what you are saying. You cannot achieve beyond your current state of mind. You must also know that nobody have the capacity to tell you this is what you need to achieve if you do not tell yourself that this is what you need to achieve. Because why? You are the only one that can pay. You are the only one that can pay the price. The moment you see that definitely you want to achieve this thing, you know that there's a price that has to come with it, and you are ready to pay the price. That is why it is not possible for a coach to just transform your life automatically. It is not possible for a mentor to just change your life automatically. It's something you have to agree. You can't change who is not ready to change. You can't change who is not ready to grow. Nobody can grow somebody who is not ready to grow. So once you see yourself differently, once you see that you are capable, once you see that you have the capacity to achieve more, you will begin to attract what can enable you to achieve that particular thing in your business. That's one thing you need to put at the back of your mind. I'm just opening the floor. I don't know how long this is going to take, but this is just the floor. This is what I want us to just build on this evening, this morning, this afternoon, depending on or from where you're joining us from. Right? I'm going to yield my mic back to Mr. N.
I'm on mute talking to myself, but thank you so much, Abuloba. So everything you say there, my friend, I agree with you. I totally agree. There's that saying, I'm sure you agree on this saying, Dr. Abuloba. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. Because it's your beliefs, right? Like it's what you say to yourself. It's what you think. You ask the question, what's our beliefs? I mentioned it at the beginning. For me, I say Africa is full of potential. We have skills, we have energetic young people, we have enthusiastic young people, and some people who have real brains. But it seems like, so when we're at home, we tell ourselves, I can't do anything from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Uganda, from Rwanda, because I'm just too small. I need money, and I need to be in the Western world to if I can do anything useful. It's not true, my friends. We must change those beliefs. Like I said earlier, that belief that we need money to create something good is a lie. It's one of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves. If you need money, then believe enough that you're going to make the money you need, because you are. If you don't believe you're going to make the money you need, you're never going to make the money you need. If you're going to start begging, then maybe this is my belief, Topoloba. And I don't think the gods created us to beg. I think the gods created us to use our gifts to attract and make the money that we need. There's many different arguments against me, I'm sure, but I'll listen. But I think deep down, we know what to do. And our beliefs comes down to, how do we want to help people? You make money when you help people. How are you going to help people? When you help people, they will help you. Strange that. But if you don't believe your dreams are possible in the first place, if you don't believe that you can never be anything, if you truly believe that you're done because you're in Africa, that's not anyone but you. That's our problem. That's what I'm hoping that will change by doing this sort of events, Topoloba. But great share, my friend. Great share. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's hear from our friends who are here. Mr. Calm, I see you too. Miss Kim, I see you too, Sam. I'm glad you're here. So, of course, we love your thoughts on the topic as well, right? And Dr. Yvonne, look, we'll change your settings later on. As LinkedIn users, it happens to all of us, but so would you change your settings and take away the privacy part? So before I come to you, Mr. Karma, let me welcome Jacinta. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Jacinta says, thanks for joining us. I see you too. The amazing Elaine. You say now, of course, many of you will know Elaine and I do Elaine's room on leadership. Many of you have been there, or if not on stage. But we're going to broaden Elaine to Elaine's real specialist topics. So I see in my diary we're having an event in a couple of Fridays, I think, not next Friday, not this one, the one after that. So Elaine's going to teach us how to use comedy in public speaking. So how to be funny. I'm never funny, by the way. I try and be funny, but it doesn't work, right? I make myself laugh. I don't make the audience laugh. But Elaine has a skill to teach people how to do public speaking with humor, by adding humor. That's just one thing that she does by adding humor. And so another thing that we're working on is an event in how to choose your book title that's funny. Yay. I go for straightforward book titles, but Elaine has a different way, better way of doing things, right? So Brandon, I haven't seen you, but Natalie say, oh no, I do see you. I see you, Brandon. Welcome. Hi, Annie from Washington DC. Glad you're here. So yeah, that's what I can see so far. So great to have you all here, my friends. And I say I'd love to hear your thoughts. There is a link to join the studio in the comments. Or if you want me to send you the link, just put in the chat here and then send me the link, please, and I'll send it to your DM. Okay. Mr. Calm, what's your take on Tobiloba's share about the power of beliefs and where we are as Africans in our belief system?
I'm still gathering my thoughts on this one, Annie. Please let the ladies go first.
Okay. Yeah, of course, Oh no. Sorry, Gladys, I don't know why I took you off stage. No, I'm pressing buttons, too many buttons, right? Gladys, any thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, so hello, Annie. Hello, everyone. It'll be brief because I wasn't really prepared, but Toby Loba made some great points about mindset and believing in yourself. And I also like what you mentioned about you make money when you're helping others, because that's the key. It's not about being selfish. How can you help the other person? So in my case, it's health and wellness, help them to improve their health and stuff like that. And again, just remaining positive and believing in yourself and your tribe. It's important to have a tribe of like-minded folks, because that will help you to go further along in your journey and to expand your business, and just be open to ideas. So that's my take on it, Annie, to just remain positive and never give up, and have be involved with a like-minded group of individuals who are very positive as well, so you all can bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, no, so I hear you. Thank you so much, Gladys. I think there's something called a mastermind. As many of us think networking, there's something called a mastermind. That's a group of like-minded people who tend to be high achievers. And what you do, essentially, you combine your mindset together, and then you strive to be better. Everyone, I said, I know I'm trying to explain this thing. It's like, that say one rotten apple spoils the barrel, right? Whereas if you have a room full of people who are driven, who have positive mindset that's almost unshakable, they help each other to keep rising into higher and higher levels. So I'm thinking of you saying earlier, Michael, that you don't like networking. I'm saying some networks are there to help you develop your belief. If you see some other entrepreneur saying how they have achieved something, then there's nothing stops you achieving it as well, right? And I say a friend of mine, Eric King, he talks about how he joined a mastermind group, and people are like, I wrote my book in 3 months. I wrote my book in weeks. And it made him realize I can write a book as well. That's where his first book came from. It's like, because if you see others who are doing it and they're willing to support you on your journey with their advice and guidance, you can't lose, right? So an important point there, Gladys, for sure. Thank you so much. We said ladies first, so let me go to Miss Kim. Miss Kim, how are you doing?
I'm good, Annie. And my dogs are usually so jealous. Just when I want to speak, they also start talking.
It's fine, I've got dogs, so I have no problem with dogs barking, and they're normally more intelligent than us, right?
They're competing with me. And hello, everyone. I love this show. It's very close to my heart. This touches me deep, and I love the conversation going on. And it just takes me to my favorite quote, which this quote, every time I'm just going like, what's happening in my continent? It is my constant wake-up call. I've actually posted it on your LinkedIn comment section. And the quote goes, if the owners of the natural resources go around begging, then you should know there's something wrong with their minds. Can you guess which African president said that?
No, who's Michael? I'm sure you know who it is, Michael. What's his name?
I do believe it's the Botswanan president.
Yeah, I'm
No.
sure. No. Okay, so Miss Kim, you have to tell us then, right?
It's President Kagame, Paul Kagame.
Hmm.
And that is just so deep. I mean, how can we live in the richest continent and we are out there begging? There's something wrong. And we need to fix what is wrong. And we're done with singing the narrative. Colonialism got us here. No, that boat has sailed. Most African countries are 50 years old. And I get it, yes, there could be some trauma, there could be a lot of challenges we faced, but it's about time we pick up our pieces and move on. And we can and we are. We may not be moving at the pace that everybody wants to see us move, but we're making tremendous steps. We are working hard. Boots on the ground, sleeves are rolled. We're getting there. So there's hope. Happy to hear from you, Mr. Calm, and everybody else. And I am just gonna give the dogs a break and join you guys later. Thanks for the show.
No, thank you, Miss Kim. You made my day. You really made my day. So, I hear the colonialism argument. We're colonized and we're still suffering from colonialism. I mean, maybe we are. I'm not going to say it's not a thing. As Miss Kim said, maybe some are still traumatized. Maybe they're still we're on a hook for many things from IMF and from big money people, right? Of course we are. Maybe some come to steal our resources by paying our governments to hand over stuff that we need and then keeping the profits for themselves. But deep down, my friends, we need to change ourselves, as Global said. It's within us to begin to change the way we think. It's not if you say, we love to think. What to call it? We love to think of lack. We love to think, I'm not good enough, and I'm not enough. I see your comment. Of course, I see your comment. Elaine said, when we live in communities with limited Black people in presence, networking with with a mastermind that's truly yours is a problem. I hear you. Sorry about that. My phone's ringing, wrong time. But I think I live in the white part of the UK, and and most times I'm the only Black person in the room. Yes, look, I've tried to play with them for a long time. I learned to play with them. I made money. My business would survive, right? I made friends with them, and those who need me, I did the marketing. But so then it dawned on me, you know what, Annie? Stop playing with people who don't appreciate you half the time. Go and do your own thing. You're gifted enough to go and do your own thing. I see you nodding, Sam. I'm sure you had the same idea. The world is so screwed up that they want to keep us outside. What's that saying? What's that saying? If no one's going to open the door for you, build your own damn door. Build your own door. That's what we have to do in the end, right? While I was playing with my networking groups, I don't go to any of them anymore, by the way. Literally, I've closed them all down because why waste my time? There's much more potential, much more resources, much more customers, as Global mentioned, online. A lot more. So I'm going to put my effort. That's why I do online every day. That's why I do events. The trick is to find your community wherever it is. And when you find them, hang on to them. Play with them, engage with them, care about them, be their friend. Again, I hear many Africans tell me, Topolova, oh, but no one wants to do a one-to-one with me. Do you really believe that you can help them? Do you really believe you can make a difference in their lives? If you don't, it shows. They can tell. They know. You haven't got to tell them. They can feel it. They know that you are not. Your belief in yourself is very little, and that's why they're saying no to you. I'm saying if you right. Okay, I'll leave you with this, and I go to Sam and then Michael. Right. See, the power of beliefs, as Toboloba said, is more than just saying to yourself, "I can do this." It's truly, truly taking it in and realizing that you are that person to do it. Once you believe that, we tend to think like the person who does that. We tend to walk like them. We talk like them. We do what they do, right? In the end, we become that person. That's power. That's how beliefs really work. That's how dreams work, right? We have to change who we are from walking into a room with our head down, thinking, "Oh, no one's gonna care. I'm the only black one here. Oh, and I'm in Nigeria. Who cares, right?" Into saying, "No, I'm the man. Like it or not, maybe you don't believe me, but I believe it. I know I'm the man." And then from there, you start doing the right things. You start learning the right things, hanging around with the right people. As Gladys said, you start helping people the way that you can, only you can. Your belief then becomes your roadmap. If you don't believe you can, your roadmap takes you to the end of the road, and it's a cul-de-sac. It stops. But if you believe you can, your journey is almost endless. I'll leave it there for now. Samson, welcome. Say Samson's amazing graphic designer. Amazing graphic designer. So Wills, I'm glad you're here, my friend. So thank you so much. Annie speaks highly of you every single day, so I'm glad you're here. Just start coming to share with our friends so they get to know you, right? So you've made my day, Dr. Augusta. You've made my day. Dr. Augusta normally needs a day and a half notice to join my event, but she's here. Yeah, Dr. Augusta. Don't know who she is. She's a doctor, a Nigerian doctor who's in France on a mission to help people to come and do postgrad and PhDs in France. If that's your interest, connect with her for sure, right? She tells you, she can tell you how to get a place, how to apply, how to get a place, in a university, how to even find money to fund you, your course. Again, so if you have such big dreams, it's not money that's going to stop you. It's whether you really believe, whether you really want it. If you really believe, and you really want it, you can't lose. Dr. Goss is there to help you. Of course, I see you too. Dr. Lisa, how are you, Lisa? Lisa is a menopause specialist. Our shows are restarting on the 16th. I can't wait. So welcome all of you. Sam, talk to us. What's your take on the power of beliefs, my friend? You're on mute. I think you're on mute. Are you on mute? No, you're not on mute. Your sound is no, Sam. Your sound is not.
What about now?
Yeah, perfect.
That's the problem when you have devices connected. They automatically. So, hi, everybody. My name is Samuel Salgado. I created a holistic medicine platform connecting patients with providers. But beyond that, to his point about belief, as a personal anecdote, this is something that I've been dealing with myself. Because when you try to create something, whatever it is, whether it's a community, what we're building, or anyone else, a lot of people are going to tell you no, and a lot of people are not going to believe in you. And you're going to be told no, especially if you're doing some kind of sale, over and over and over and over. They can like you. They can even trust you, but they still might ignore you. So it challenges that belief. It challenged mine because I started thinking, am I not smart enough? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my platform? And the reality is that if I don't believe on a high level that I can make it and that it's going to happen, then nobody else will. Because the reality is that you're doing it for others. Whether you're married, you have a child, you have family, there's always someone else that you're doing it for. whether it's a hater or someone that loves you. So you have to maintain that belief, especially in Africa. Because here's the reality. The reality is that Africa is doing this. There's a lot of global innovation, a lot of tech innovation, but just like it seems with me right now, where I'm at in Mexico, it seems bleak at the beginning, right? It's, oh, well, yeah, everyone else is making it, but I'm still struggling. That's going to be part of the process. I'm only 28. I'm about to be 29 on Friday. And in my short years of life, I found that it's part of the process. The hardest part of your challenge is the best part of the process. And you have to stay in that. And you have to believe that. And you have to maintain a positive thought. For example, we just onboarded a mindset coach on our platform. And she said something that will always stick with me. She said that success is 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. I'm somebody that red master strategist, calls myself a strategist, tries to be a strategist, tries to have unique ideology. But at the end of the day, I was doing it all wrong because I was focusing all my attention on the 5% and I wasn't focusing enough attention on the 95%. The 95% seems like the easy part, but it's actually harder than the 5%. You can figure out strategy, right? Or you can even figure out how to make some money to pay somebody to do the strategy for you. You can figure out that 5%. That 95%, that's the hard part, because those are the nights and the days where maybe some people in here might know, and he might know, maybe you're struggling to eat because this has gotten so hard. Maybe you've even gone to the point where you don't have a bed. You don't have anywhere to sleep because it's gotten so hard. Those are the moments that the mindset has to be the strongest. And I'm saying that from a position of experience. Yeah, as you can see, I obviously have a bed, but there was times where I was hungry, I didn't eat, throughout this whole process. And that's what's going to be a part of it. That's going to be a part of your goals. See, everyone can come on here and tell you all the good stuff, right? The success and what you can be. And, that's all good and nice. But the reality is the hard part. That's the stuff that everybody on here really needs to hear, because that's the stuff that you need to go through, because we're all going to have it hard. Whether it's you grew up and you had a challenge in life, you had a challenge in life at my age, you had a challenge in life when you're older, you had an ailment, whatever it is, we all grow up with problems. But overcoming the hard part and having that positive mindset, that's everything, especially for entrepreneurship. I've been doing this now for a year, and it's been the hardest year of my life. It's been the hardest 4 months of my life. Going from where I was in the States to Mexico, where I didn't know anybody, and I had to build something and figure it out. And as Annie mentioned, figure out how to be in the online community, how to sell, how to pitch, how to do all these things. But it comes with experience. But the thing that kept me grounded, and the thing that's still keeping me grounded to this day, is the mindset. So to answer your question, Annie, mindset is everything. If you don't have mindset, you could be the smartest person in the world. Here's the reality. The reality is that the people who are the richest people of the world, they're not the smartest. You read the story of Elon Musk, you read the story of a lot of these rich people, you think that they're geniuses. Yeah, they're intelligent, obviously, but they're not super geniuses. The guy that made Apple, Steve Jobs, he never even coded one line of code, right? And he created a massive empire where I'm working on a MacBook, and he's working on a MacBook, and people in this chat or on LinkedIn probably have one of these or work on a MacBook, right? So that is the key of it all, is focusing on that 95%. And when you get there, that is when you really start to have success. And it's a hard and a long road. But as this, the title of this says, thinking differently. So You got to say, okay, what are the beliefs? And I'm doing this myself too, by the way. So I'm not just preaching. I'm actually, thinking myself, what are the beliefs I had in the last 30 days? What was it that I had as a belief? Not what were the affirmations I told myself. No, 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 no. What was the true core beliefs that I had in the last 30 days? And how do I think differently? How do I change those beliefs when success hasn't happened? These last 30 days have been hard for me. I didn't get the deals that I wanted to get in the last 30 days, right? My business, I Googled my business profile. I couldn't set it up. They blocked me. So now I got to wait another 30 days to set it up. So I'm telling you the hard parts of business because that's the stuff that you really want and need to hear. I wish someone were to tell me the hard part, the failures, the mistakes. That's the stuff that you really want to hear so you don't make them. Anyone could tell you, oh, I built a business and we sold it for 17 million and whatever. Da, da, da. No, man, anybody can. That's not the part you want to hear. You want to hear the hard part and you want to change your mindset. And it's a daily process, by the way, because every day you wake up and maybe you're not at the money you want to be. Maybe you don't have the food you want to have. Maybe you're not in your body isn't how you want it to be, right? You can't stay in that. You have to have that positive belief and that mindset that things are not only going to get better, but they are getting better. Yesterday was better than, today was better than yesterday. And tomorrow will be better than today. You have to have that mindset every single day. And when you do, not only will you find success, but your clients will see it too, right? Your clients see when you're freaking out. Your clients see when, oh man, I'm late on my bills. I can't. I need to get a deal fast. Your clients see that, and they see the panic, and then maybe they don't want to work with you because of it. You want to have that positive mindset of, yeah, things are going bad, but that you don't want them to ever know that, right? Some of the best coaches, best generals, best presidents of all time around the world all understood that, is that I have to stay even keeled so that people under me are even keeled, so that my employees are even keeled, so that my clients are even keeled. So I know that was a long-winded answer, but that is really how you change your mindset. And the process is it's a continual process. It doesn't stop. You can make $1 million, and if you don't change that 95%, you're going to lose it all. There's so many people who have gone to the top of the summit and they've lost it all because they didn't keep that mindset. So if you don't remember anything I said, remember that 95% of success is mindset and only 5% is strategy.
Definitely, Samuel. Like that is a very, very big, big claim, and is what we truly, truly need to understand that you cannot achieve what you don't believe. Just the summary of what you're telling to us. Like Oprah Winfrey, it was just trying to tell us, like, if I quickly remember that quote from Oprah, we need to understand that the sum total of your life, right? The sum total of your life, your current situations, your current life can only change only if you focus that your mindset, only if you see that that only if you see it from your mind, like only if you see that it's going to change your mind, like your mind is in alignment with what you truly want to. Yes, I think I remember now. He said that the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude. Right now, what you were saying in this context is that the moment you want to change your life, you have to change your attitudes towards things. You don't even die before the problem comes. The one thing I notice about people is that they glorify the problem they're going through. They glorify their struggles. They glorify what is not working. That is what I see that they focus on most times. Just like you're saying that 95% of success, 95% of growth, it's 95% of growth of success can only be traced to our mindset, is the truth. And we need to understand that. The moment you believe that you have the capacity to change your life, then you'll be able to, change your life. So one of my mentors do say something that we need to learn how to live out inside out instead of living inside outside in. What she's trying to make us to understand is that you need to understand that whatever that is going on around you, whatever the problem is just temporal. It's just a temporal, like it's not forever. You need to also believe in that whatever you're going to can change. It will change. But the only thing for it to be able to change is that if you see it in your mind that is going to change. If you don't believe it that is going to change, definitely it's not going to change. So it's all about what you see. It's all about what you are saying to people. It's all about what you let people understand about you and about your life. And this is not about faking it. You're not faking anything, right? You're not faking anything. But you just want us to understand that. One thing I want you to understand from what Samuel is trying to share to us this evening is that everybody have their own issues. They have their own problem. They have what they are going through. No one figure it out just like that. No one ever figure it out just once. No one just get a solution just like that by thinking about it or by doing it just once. We do it continuously. We struggle on a daily basis. Even with that, you see, we are all laughing, we are kind, we are here all the time, trying to share, trying to help people. Doesn't mean that we don't have what is going on with us. Doesn't mean that we don't have the struggle. So you are not the only one going through a problem. So it's a national thing. It's worldwide problem that one way or the other you will have what you're struggling with. And you have to understand that for you to be able to change things, just like the code that I made mention of now, you need to change your attitude towards the problem. What even magnify the problem that you're going through or the situation you are going through is the attitude towards it. The moment you change your attitude towards your problem, if you don't magnify it too much, definitely you are going to change it. Always see the good side. Thank you so much for that wonderful share, Samuel.
You're very welcome. And one thing that he mentioned too that you guys got to remember is that one thing that I really respect about Africa versus, I've been all around the world. I've worked with entrepreneurs in Europe and South America, obviously in the States and Canada, is that what you guys have is a sense of community. And that's why what Innie said was so valuable about, you mentioning, oh, people don't want to do meetings. Maybe it's a you problem, right? And when I'm pointing at myself. It's a Samuel problem because Africa has community. Africans want to work with each other. That's the one. Obviously, there is, outlier examples, of course, but generally speaking, Africans want to work with each other because you want to grow your continent and make your continent on the same level of Europe and South America and Australia and some of these other continents that are exploding. And I believe that you guys can do it. I really see a lot of potential. I've actually been invited to Africa a couple of times. I see a lot of potential in Africa in the next 10 to 20 years. So it really is a mindset issue versus this guy didn't want to work with me or she didn't want to work with me or whatever, when the reality is it's a you thing. So you guys got to remember that is that there's a lot of community in Africa. A lot of community.
There is a lot of community in Africa. There is, and we also know that we have superpower. We have this energy that we need to tap into. Like we have it. I've met a whole lot of people that are more like me, that are even much better. When you listen to these people, you probably ask that, what is now the problem? And another problem I noticed about Africa is that we have so much, but we apply little.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have so much, but we apply little. And the growth is in the application of what we know. All right. What you know cannot change anything. It's only when you apply it. It's the application that brings the changes you want to see. So when you don't apply what you know, just like now, just like the way we are here, we are sharing one or two things that we know. I tell you that this is what I have to do. This is what I can do. I could probably tell you that I want to write a book, I want to do this. We have so many ideas, we have so many things, but then we apply just a little bit of what we know. That's why we see that many other people or many other continents that are doing better than how Africans are doing, because we talk more than what we say. We really don't do it. Just
Yeah.
like yesterday was the first day, I was like, okay, this is the thing. This is a 3 years experience. What am I going to do? I want to write a book, and I get into it. I work 24 hours since yesterday. I've been on the book. I've been writing it. I've been documenting. I've been putting it together. So one thing I noticed is that whether it's going to change life or it's not going to change life, whether it's going to change a business, it's not going to change a business. Why don't you just do it? Why don't you tell us that this is what you've got going first before you begin to see what is not working? Why don't you see what is working first before you begin to tell us that I wish I would have done this? Why don't you do it first?
Yes.
Why should you believe that somebody should come out there, somebody should be there and tell you what needs to be done? And by the time, I've noticed many people have steal so many of my ideas, even on this space, because the old belief I had is that once I talk about what I have, nobody can take it. Somebody will just take it. Somebody will just take it and they will use it, and you won't even have a copyright right for it, and they'll make use of it. So instead of talking too much, why don't you just get into actions?
Yes, I agree.
Just do it, and then whether you fail or you don't fail, you don't have anything to lose. You've only got a lot of things to lose if you don't do anything. That is where the problem is coming from. So you need to understand that for a fact.
I agree. So, you and Sam, you share genius. I think that we need to, but you're saying the same thing. It's like we know. Let's get doing. Sam, I love about what you shared, my friend. Apart from most of it, not all of it, really. See, it's easy to believe when things are going well. Easy to believe mindset is everything when you have the checks coming in, when you have customers coming to you and you're making money, right? It's those days when things are going wrong, when nothing's working. That's when your belief really gets tested. And that's when you need your beliefs the most. That's when you really must truly believe. I always give this example. I'll come to your comments, Dr. Augusta. I always give this example, right? Every month. What's today? 2nd, right? Almost everyone's upbeat. They're like, I believe this month's going to be a great month. Sabaleba said it himself at the beginning. This is going to be my month. I'm going to get 20 customers. Yes, I'm going to get 20 customers. I really am, right? I believe. My mindset is positive. Nothing's going to stop me. Yeah. So on the 2nd, it sounds good. By the time I get to the 15th, they're like, I haven't got a customer yet. Am I sure?
That's not sure. The problem is
that let's play on top. Let's play on top of over, because then we'll get to the 25th. By the 21st, they're like, it's not gonna happen. Damn, I failed. I screwed up. I effed up somewhere. It's not. I'll try again next month. Yeah, but meanwhile, the belief has gone out the window. It's totally gone. It's gone. They're back to square one again. Not realizing it's on the 21st that you have to convince yourself that I must make this happen. It's in me. I have it within me to make this happen, right? Again, I think that there is this thing, Sam. I think you mentioned the generals, right? But this is all of us who are here, all of us in the world. I think, is that when you want to do something and you get that thing in your head that says, can I really do this? And whenever I want to write a book, I'm saying, his brain saying to me every moment, his brain saying to him, it's going to be hard. Do you really want to do this? What if it doesn't work? What if it screws up? What if you waste your time? See, I think that we need to understand, as you mentioned, Sam, that it's a knowing within, it's a knowing inside you. It's a knowing, I know what I'm trying to do. As your developer said, just do the steps that you know how to, you know what to do, right? Now, God gives you instructions, all of us. It says, do this, do that. Sam's calling today was coming to show. Me and Sam are going to do some more calls. Now, our calling last week was join this networking meeting, and we did. Look where we are now. We're friends and spend good time together. I'm going to start doing some shows, right? I'm saying, no, it's knowing within you. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And it's saying to yourself, I will make it work. If that book doesn't sell to Beloba, who cares, right? You've written a book. Now you've got something that's a legacy. It's more than selling books. It's more than selling what you do. It's about your true. Who are you within, right? As many of us get this thing where we have instructions every day from God, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, whether it's whatever you want to call it, right? Where we're told to do something to move ourselves forward, and we say to ourselves, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think. Oh, it sounds hard. What if it fails?" Let's stop thinking like that. Let's have that. Look, your beliefs is like it's your roadmap. I say that deliberately. Your belief is God's plan for you to get from A to B, from where you are now to where you want to be. All you have to do is hold that belief, keep taking action, as Beloba said. All right, don't start questioning that belief halfway down the road on the 21st. Hold on to and truly believe this is you. Look, of course, this belief thing. No one is saying to you that when you wake up tomorrow, your life's going to be, you're going to be a multi-millionaire. You're not, right? I think people need to understand how beliefs work, my friends. Beliefs, dreams. I use the same example, right? I know what I'm aiming for. Let me try and make it easy for everyone. This is what I'm going to tell them when I get to Ghana, right? You see, my dream. I had my dream at 12 years old. My dream was quite simple. I saw one of my uncles, Uncle Vasco, right? One of Auntie Anita's husband. This man in Nigeria had all the Mercs, all of them. The two-seater all the way up to the Jeep in gold. And as a 12-year-old, I was like, man, how have you done that, Uncle Vasco? How do you own all the Mercs? No, I've never seen it before. My granddad is wealthy. He was minister in the government, right? He was wealthy. Uncle Vasco, if you can imagine seeing all a range of Mercs in gold belonging to one man, and I didn't even know what he did. I still don't know what he did even to now, right? But literally, that belief is what got me to where I am today. Because I told myself, I want that. I'm not just I want it. I'm gonna have that and do more, right? That's what I said to myself at 12. This is how beliefs really work. It's not an overnight success thing. It's a process. Sometimes it's a whole life thing. That's probably what I'm trying to explain to you, right? You see, that belief got me to realize all through life, you must get educated. Degree, masters. Yes, I've done those. So that's the journey it took me on. Then it made me realize on my journey, you can't have a wife who's so, who's crazy, who is freaky, who is more problem than stability. So I've been with my wife for the last 35 years. So there you go. I'm saying my belief is what guides everything I do, right? Stability is what I need. My wife and I have built a business together, apart from the business I do now, right? I'm saying everything I do is based on that journey I've been on since I was 12, which is just having that thing in the back of my mind, which just keeps you doing the right thing for you. It's that same belief, that same dream that told me, start a business. Yes, I hear what you're saying. People that don't like you, when you work for them, it makes you miserable. What's the point of staying there? Start a business, right? And every day, like Tobiloba, we have ideas. God says to us, do this, do that. My next do this is go to Ghana and speak on stage. My next after that is do more speaking, public speaking. In case you miss it, public speaking It's probably the best way to make money because you make money quick and just talk. Literally, half an hour on stage somewhere, 20 minutes on stage somewhere, you make 10 grand. Right. That's where I want to be. I say that, but it comes from that belief that I can have those, all the mercs. I don't even want the mercs anymore. I'm saying that we have to refine our beliefs, sharpen it, almost mold it into what we want to be, to make us greater, achieve our potential. That's the way beliefs really work. Now, Sam Sass's business, the journey's been on the last year. Only God knows. I'm saying I can imagine. He's not where he was. He's not even where he thought it would be. Nothing's gone the way he thought. But he keeps learning. He keeps showing up. He keeps doing every day. He keeps believing he's going to be the Sam he wants to be. Live the life he wants to live, a life of worth and happiness. That's what our beliefs do for us. But it's a journey. It's a long-ass journey. We're going to fail. We're going to screw up in many places. Of course we are, but that's part of the course. Without the belief in your heart, you're going nowhere.
And one thing I want us to understand, even if this is where we're going to end it today, is that the definition of your belief is not even the real definition. Belief itself is your ability to take action. Another word for belief is taking action. Is you being able to take action towards what you believe that is going to happen. If you do not take the action, that means you don't believe about it. You don't believe in that particular thing. You need to take action. Action is the real definition of belief. So the moment you say you believe, we expect you to take action towards what you believe. We really expect you to take the action. So don't just tell us that I believe in myself. Why not doing anything when you're not doing anything, when you do not take action, when you do not do anything that was going to change your life? Before you know it, September is going to end and you will still not be able to do anything, and nothing good is not going to come out. Time did not change anything. You only review, and the actions you take is what really changes things. So know that your life is only going to change when you take action. When you believe that, when you take these actions, don't believe maybe you are going to fail. If you fail, who cares? Who cares if you fail? Thomas Edison did it 999 times. It's only the 1,000 times was able to get it right. So how many times have you tried? There's a soft drink here in Nigeria called 7-Up. The day I read about the 7-Up, it says that it was 6 times failure. Then 7th times was able to do it correctly. So 6 down, 7 up. How many times have you tried? What if it doesn't work? Then who cares if it doesn't work? The point is that have you been able to do it? Did you do it? Yes. I wanted to leave.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully Toboloba will come back. He's got a point there. Success is not winning. It's not getting to your destination tomorrow. Success is how many times you fall and then how many times you rise. That's success. Each time you fail, that's not even a word, to be fair, right? You're not failing, you're learning. Each time it doesn't work, you learn what doesn't work. That's what belief really looks like. It's just keeping that peace in your soul. I'm destined for this because I choose to do it. And that's how we achieve such great things. I think Toboloba has many true points there. It's about listening to what your soul's telling you and taking action. I mentioned public speaking is one of my new vehicles that God's told me is the way to be, right? And the other thing that I've been told is to start my own public speaking company, service for people. I want to put authors on stage, author speakers. That's what the company is called, right? So we write their book, publish their book, launch a book, and then give them probably a stage to make them speakers. That way they can earn money themselves, being keynote speakers. They can learn with us, but they just learn it, actually doing it in hybrid events. I'm saying to them, the question I'm asking you, my friends, is what God told you to do that you're not doing. The purpose today is to write a book. I say, what is your what's your soul really telling you that you have to do, right? Mark, I'm going to come to you. So they're probably going to end sometime soon because I just I do have another show to go. Now, I see, Dr. Augusta, I see what you're saying. Elon Musk is a genius. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. He's a dumbass at many things, but it's in engineering. I'm not going to argue with you. He built his company. His IQ, yes. It's high. I'm sure. He is a very clever man. Zuckerberg as well. You mentioned again. Roughly. Your IQ doesn't determine what you do. And I say that these are high numbers for these people, right? I can believe that they're high-level thinkers. I can believe that. No, that's where they are. That's why we're talking about them, right? I'm saying that's not what makes them. So I love what you say about Steve Jobs. Again, high IQ, right? Dr. Augusta, let me tell you something about Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs failed at school, got kicked out of school. And then he started a company with his friends, a company that was going nowhere, Dr. Augusta, going nowhere at all. It was flunking, right? I think he had basically he had his last chance, which was to try and sell this device with a color screen. Computers were black and white in those days. He went into somewhere, spoke to the owner there, and the person agreed to buy some of these devices from him. That's how Steve Jobs got lucky. I'm saying I call it luck, but it's not luck. Obviously he was, as Tubelova's been saying, was willing to get up, create his prototype, and walk the streets and find people who are going to buy it off him. I think the person bought about 300 from him. That's how Apple started. My point is that all of us have the same potential, the same chance. Take your dreams, live it. Walk with it down the streets. Get people to fund it. Get someone to buy it. Don't be chasing money like funding for the sake of it. I'm saying sell your skills, sell your genius. Suddenly tomorrow, the people look at you and say, "Oh, Sam was a genius." Nah, you're lying. We know you're lying. Sam's good. All Sam did was truly believe, have a mission, and live that mission, and do the work it took to make it work. We're talking about these things today, my friends. What I would love is really for all of us here to hear us and then live your dream. Live from this power of beliefs. Look, Michael, I'll let you speak, then I'll do my call to arms before we go. Michael, talk to us.
Well, everybody had something great to say. Quite a lot of you had a lot to say, and it's all been consistent. And it's all been really, really good. I've been loving just getting back here and just listening and taking notes. Part of my notes was something that Topolo said, and it took me back to the definition of change. And change is a universal constant. So that being the case, you either go up or you either go down. And Topolova said, change your attitude in order to change your altitude.
Yeah.
All right. And since change is a universal constant, you're going to go either way, regardless of whatever you do. If you do nothing, you're still going to go down. Or you may go up. The only thing is if you're lucky. But if you make the change yourself and you're consistent in changing your attitude, you're going to go up. The likelihood is that you're going to go up. But there's a change that's going to happen. It's either you go down or you go up. It's up to you to make the decision on what you need to do, or change your and make that attitude change. The most difficult part about mindset is actually maintaining it. Maintaining your mindset. Consistent maintenance of effort in consistency results in resilience. It's a confusing statement, but that's what it is. Consistent maintenance of effort in consistency results in resilience, which results from mindset discipline. So your mindset discipline is going to allow you to wake up, It's going to allow you to focus on yourself. It's going to allow you to plan for yourself for the next day, because you have already planned for the day that you're currently living in yesterday. And all you're doing today is executing. That's all you should need to be doing, because you already planned for it yesterday.
Well said,
Your
Michael.
mindset is what drives all this.
Hmm.
So that's about it, Annie. Thank you.
Genius, my friend, genius. It's about to making small steps forward, I'm sure. Gladys, anything you want to share as we begin to wind down?
Not really. I was doing the same thing Colin was doing, taking great notes, but I do know mindset is key. And to just remain focused and just never give up. Never give up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well
Never
said.
give up.
Yeah, double over. So I'll come to you. Then I go to Sam. No, maybe I should go to Sam first, and then I'll come to you, double over, because you are my guest speaker for the day. So I'll let you have towards the last word.
Yeah, I just want to add what she said, never give up. And then finally, what Natalie said in the comments, she said, your share shows your growth and willingness to be candid. This shows a shift in mindset practice towards mindfulness. I never understood what mindfulness was. We always talk about mindfulness on our platform, and mindfulness is it's a great keyword to use on YouTube that a lot of people search for, but I don't think people actually know what it is. So I just want to close by saying what Natalie said, which is mindfulness is fluid, adaptable, purposeful, like water dashing a shoreline. Great simile. Mindset encourages and perpetuates need over empowerment and autonomy. So those are just great words from Natalie. And thank you so much for having me, everybody.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for being here, Sam. I can't wait for our show to start. My friends will get to know you much more, and the strength of your belief and your passion for your service. Now, Gladys, I know you didn't tell us what you do. Hopefully, you will take your chance to tell us. Then we welcome Dr. Fortune, so a dentist, and she's a real dentist, by the way, of course, and author of several books. And she's published 2 books so far. The one on dentistry, the other one on work-life balance. So I do connect with her for sure. So Annie, that's perfectly fine. So this is not your thing, but I think yes, we can go back. We can look backwards to go forwards. I think that's one thing for your message, right? But I think we can shoot ourselves forward. Now, I'm understanding this, my friends. Your past is your past. Your past happened the way it did. We're here today based on the way we were thinking before. So Baloba's point today is change your belief, think differently, change your belief, and your life will change. Start from now. Don't worry about what's gone before. Don't worry about it at all. Let it go, right? You did the best you knew then. I'm saying today, a couple of things that you didn't, that maybe you weren't thinking about yesterday. What you know today is that you have infinite potential. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. Now you also know how to achieve it, which is keep your belief in your heart, in your soul. Play your belief in your mind. Play it like a video every day. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. When you do that, my friends, you can move yourself forward from today, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what happened at all. Yesterday's mistakes is fine. It's how you think going forward that's going to change your life. Top it over. So I see even the superstar David is here, but she hasn't got a mic on, which is really giving me I can't bring her on stage unless she does. Let me welcome Michael. How you doing, Michael? So what a great sharing. Whatever you believe in putting in the work is what amplifies your beliefs, which is true. As Tobloba was saying, it's belief alone is like a wish. Beliefs with action, my goodness, you're unstoppable. Literally. That's how people change the world. Everything that's around us was created in someone's mind first. Think of that. Everything. Companies, products in front of you, the books you read. I'm saying there was someone's dream, someone's belief, someone's vision, and now it's a real thing, right? Let me welcome Romy. How you doing, Romy? How's England treating you? I don't know. No, you haven't caught up yet, Romy. I don't know. Well, that's bad, right? So as African entrepreneurs, we must shift. We must have a shift of our mindset beyond race and privileges. I agree with you there entirely, my friend. I agree with you. We must start to believe in ourselves as the geniuses we are, right? Davida, how are you doing? Davida is my host, my co-host all the time. You see Davida, I tell you. Davida, share with us. I'm amazed, my friend. So, how are you doing? Where have you been?
Oh my
I've missed
God.
you.
Good evening, Annie. Good evening, Samuel. Good evening, everyone on the call. Calm, Toby Lover. Good evening, everyone. Oh my God, I've missed this section so well. I mean, I'm short of words. It's been a long time here. Oh, Annie, how have you been? I've been doing African business. So I got
Excellent.
a
No,
new role.
I'm good. I'm good for seeing you today. You
Yeah.
made my day. So it's really great to have that you've joined us.
Mr. Earning.
I had to be very deliberate to join this meeting today. So I have joined a new business, a fintech, African or Nigerian owned fintech. And it's been it's been 24 hours 7. It's been very demanding. And one of the reasons why it's demanding is because we're ensuring that we're not making the mistakes that African founders have made before now. And we don't like the fact that we have lots of fintech exiting the markets as soon as they come in Africa. And we're trying to mitigate the areas, I mean, the porosity we've observed over the years. Call it thinking differently, you won't be wrong. But then I'm beginning to feel the practicality of the theories I have been saying. A lot of times we want to create change, and it's very easy to create change with your tongue. You can publish books easily without practicing them. Publishing books are good, writing books are very excellent, but there is really a gap between what you say, what you write, and what you do.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm on that stage where I have to really practice all I have been saying. And it's not that easy, but it's doable. I think there I think that Africa have started hearing the clarion call, the call that it's no longer business as usual, and nobody's coming to save you except to save yourself. And over here in Nigeria, we are building systems that is people dependent. Over the years, we've over depended on the government, in my opinion. We have to change the way we do things. And how have we been doing things before? We've been waiting for the government. An average African would say, because the government didn't do this, so this didn't happen. And it's true, the government is supposed to do lots of the things they are supposed to do. However, we don't wait until the government do them. If the government doesn't do them, or if the government don't do them, what can we do for ourselves? And that's what we are teaching ourselves. We are practicalizing this thing. We are enforcing it on ourselves. It's very challenging, very daunting. Designing systems for cross-border payments across the globe. And it's challenging, but we are doing it. And that's why I've been away for a while. I'm helping to set up the systems, I mean the human resource systems that make Tirios Limited work. So I work for Tirios, the other name is Miden, and we do cross-border payments. And I love the fact that this is an African business, this is African owned, and it's across the globe. We are already in 4 countries in the world, including the US and UK, and we're in Nigeria and somewhere else in Africa. We're just pulling our weights across the world. And I love the fact that as Africans, we are telling ourselves not to do the things our fathers or people have done before that have not yielded results. We are doing things in a better way. I also want to say that with old beliefs, we don't discard everything. Things may be old, but not totally obsolete. There are lessons to learn from what we call old. We learn how they got old. We learn what they should have done not to be as old as they are. We learn what sustained them before they became old. I think that as younger African persons, we shouldn't be quick to criticize our fathers completely or totally. We must be humble enough to accept that they did some things right and improve on those things that they have done right to the extent to which they did it right. I also think that we can question the things they did without insulting them. I see that one of the challenges my generation, or one of the bad practice we have these days, is to feel that just because a thing did not work before we came in, we are licensed to insult it and make mockery of the people who managed it before we came. And that is not what it's supposed to be. Regardless of how bad the generation or the things we've met on ground are, we must ensure to do the corrections with relevance, with respect. So that way, those who have gone before us will find it very easy to open up to us, to tell us their challenges, where they went wrong, so we don't fall that path. I don't think that as African entrepreneurs, we just come into a system and say, everybody that was here was doing rubbish and nonsense, and I'm doing everything new. That's an easy way to fail. It is better to admit respectfully that you started something, and in fact, we are starting this because we've seen someone who started something. But even though you have not done it 100%, I'm willing to learn from what you did right, and maybe hope that you teach me what you think you should have done better for it to be better than what it is now. So I think we need humility, we need the tenacity to do the right thing, and we need the ability to merge our words with action. Thank you very much, Annie. I have to stop now.
No, thank you. You know, that's wonderful. Again, I don't I say when we're not. I don't think any of us are saying throw the baby out with the bathwater, throw everything out. No, that's not the way. You know, I think we can take a lot from what's been before. We have to look. It's very hard to create anything new in the world. Let me tell you. Most things are refinements of things that already are. You know, we improve them, right? Make them work better. You know, as you say, David, I think that, but the thing that I think we need to change in a big way when it comes to African businesses, I'm sure now when you say the challenge of trying to get people to apply what we know, you know, well, no, it's easy to talk in mindset, easy. You know, have a positive mindset, you know, but to really live by it is hard. It's, you know, I got here by being drag kicking and screaming by my mindset coach. She's like, Annie, if you don't believe it's not going to happen, I'm like, I'm just going to do it because I know what to do, right? I know what to do. And it didn't work. I was going around in circles. So I had to eventually concede and say, right, there's a greater power than me. All you have told me for, you know, you told me for years, literally, all of you, David, you included, there is a God. I'm like, no, there's no God. I'm not having it. It's all me. I'm wrong. I accept that I'm wrong now because I am wrong, right? Because there is a greater power than us. So that's something that I'm saying we have to learn and improve. No, David, I'm
so excited.
You know, we're making an impact, David, one at a time. Miss Kim said earlier, we must stop blaming colonialism. I'm like, and you know Miss Kim, right? You know, she's all like, colonialism is our problem. Like today, she's like, it's not our problem. I'm like, what? She's finally said the word been saying for so long. We're learning, David. We're learning. We'll have to learn and move ourselves forward. Yes. But I think now applying this issue of beliefs, you know, we have to truly believe. And I know deep down you believe that your company will go places. You know, if you don't know what David does, he's an HR genius. You know, so to go and use HR to move companies along, that's moving people's thinking along. That's what she's doing, really. You know, I'm saying, and that's the challenge. You know, as a collective, David, and I know the work we have to do. Tobaloba and I and a few others. Maybe I'll come to you because now if we're going to come and start doing events in Nigeria to talk to businesses,
you're welcome.
About this issue. You know, I'm sure we can involve you somehow because now you have a message.
Of course. I'm already in. I'm already in.
We'll take it. We'll take it. You know, so you know, we're working towards our first event in the new year. Where you know, then you know, we'll start with one. We just do more. You know, we'll do more speaking events. You know, and then try to educate our brothers and sisters how they can improve their lives.
Yeah.
Tracy, I see you. Welcome, Tracy. You know, superstar room host, and of course, a great thinker as well. So glad you're here, Tracy. If I know which one to click. So, Davida, look, and hopefully you join the next one, but we'll talk and try and work it out, right? I'm coming to
Yes.
Ghana. I'm going to Ghana on the 19th.
No human is useless.
Yes, well, don't tell me you will see my posts.
Oh my God.
I know. No, I can't wait. I can't. I'm so excited. So
Oh
I'm
my
gonna.
God.
I will end with my, I guess, my call to action for Africans. So I'll let Tobiloba have his last word, then I'll do what I'm gonna do. If that's all right. Tobiloba, please go for it, my friend.
David, good to see you again.
Hello, Toby. It's good to see you
Yeah.
too.
Yes, it used to be like audio room thing. Like I remember like you were always on fire on our audio rooms back then. Good to have you back.
Thank
Okay.
you very much, Toby.
Right. A lot of things are really being shared by you, and I'm just going to pick it up from there, even right before you joined us. So many things that we all need to understand that life is all about what you believe in, and what you believe in must spark actions. Actions is what really bring the change that we look at. Or action is really the goal, and like is the thing that change what we want to change, is the one that change the perspective, that change the life that really want to change. And I want to point out two things we've shared. Number one, we shouldn't look at the government like the government have to get everything done. And number two was like, when you're talking about, we shouldn't just condemn our fathers, we shouldn't just condemn our parents, our forefathers. Just two things. That two things really stood out to me. Like, really, the government cannot get everything done. And then until we realize that, we keep on, just like I was sharing with my younger sibling a couple of weeks back. You are 23, one is 23, one is 21, one is 19. I was just telling them, like, at this age, you shouldn't be thinking that somebody should get this thing done for you. This is another word. Like, it's not like my mom did not feel if she's not giving you anything at this moment. My dad did not feel if they're not giving you anything at this age. So you need to own this life for yourself and be like, okay, this is the thing that you need to own it for yourself. Just like that's to back up what you just shared, that if we look at the government and then believe that the government is going to get everything done without doing our own part, we keep on getting to the same point. We keep on having the same problem, until we believe that we also have our own part to play. We also have our own role to play in this change that we are really looking for. And we need to believe that they've done their own part. They've done it the way they want to do it. That's in the regards of our parents. They do it in part. Do you know that if they figure it out, they figure everything out, there will be nothing for us to be done, right?
Absolutely.
It's because
Absolutely.
we have something to do. That's why they did not figure everything out. We need to understand that, okay, they've done their own part, and we need to do our own part for our children coming, for us to see differently. And whether we believe it or not, we are building on the legacy that they've laid. We are building on the things that they've started. The foundation they've started, we cannot easily evacuate and demolish the foundation. We are basically building on it. Is that we build better, or we just continue to complain about what is not going to happen? Whether you complain or you do not complain, it's about what you do that really bring the changes that you need. So we need to understand that the moment we figure out that this is a problem, that means that is a problem we need to find a solution to, not to be blaming the people that create the problem or that brings about the problem. Is inactions, or practically actions, both inactions and actions, they are both actions, and that's what brings about problems. We need to understand that as Nigeria, as Africa, as entrepreneurs, as startup, as a speaker, whichever thing you're doing, as a coach, as a mentor, that the moment you figure out something in a life, in somebody's life or in a community, is because you are meant to provide the solution to it, not to be complaining about it. And we need to understand that. The moment we understand that and begin to look for the solution, definitely we'll be able to change our life. We'll be able to change the life of the people around us. We'll be able to see things differently. When you see yourself as a solution provider, that is when you begin to see it differently. When you don't see yourself as a solution provider, you will not see the change that you are meant to bring. So it's very,
Exactly.
very important
that you see that I am meant to be a solution to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to provide, whether it is easy, whether it is not easy, I am meant to be a change. Why don't you be the change that you are looking for? Why don't you
Mm-hmm.
bring the part of that change? Be the change.
Mm-hmm.
Stop complaining. Stop magnifying the problem we have. I tweeted like yesterday, like we should stop seeing Africa continent, Nigeria, as like is a problem nation or a problem continent. We have a lot of things. We have a lot of things that we need to build on. And that's what we need to leave our foundation on. And we need to believe that we've got this thing on us. Whether we do it right or we do not do it right, your children are going to be partaker of the problem we create. And when you take a solution as well, they are going to be part of the solution that you are going to create. Be the voice. Don't be the destroyer. Don't destroy anything. The damage has been done enough. Stop destroying it with the word of your mouth, with your
Mm-hmm.
actions or your inactions. We've got this and we have to fix it. I remain to Biloba from Niyi, all right? And
Thank you
one of the
very
things
much.
is that I do for business is that I help businesses to fix the growth links with the system, the first client system that I created, and this is enable you to attract the right people, build the trust, driving consistent sales, and being able to turn your client into a loyal advocate, for a predictable growth. And I'm working on my book. It's going to be out very soon, which I call
Wow.
the client flow system, and it's a roadmap. It's a system that I've laid down that you can apply in anything you're doing, and it's going to work. If you believe that it's going to work, definitely you don't have to be the one to tell me if it's going to work or not going to work. No, I know it's going to work. That's why I created it. I know the problem I see. That's why I created this, and that's the belief I want to leave you with. Whenever you want to do something, see it as a solution to a problem. Just know that when people do not see it in a different way, that means they don't have the problem. So find the people that have the problem and give it to them. Prescribe the problem, diagnose the problem, and prescribe the solution maybe through your product or through your service. Thank you so much, Mr. Eni, for giving me a wonderful honor to be your guest on this show tonight. I'm
It's been
Thank,
really excited to see you again, David.
it's
thank
been beautiful. Tabulemi, you
you.
shared beauty. If you want to respond, David, feel free.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to add a little, and that's around how we are not very quick in identifying as solution providers and taking responsibility. For example, the theme for this section is Thinking Differently, African Entrepreneurs and Professionals Changing the Old Belief. Now, someone will read this and their first response will be, I'm not even an entrepreneur. Am I even a professional? I'm not a professional. And that would be because they are looking for a reason not to be part of the solution. One of the old beliefs would have over time is being the recipient and not giving. And how did we come to this? Because our fathers grew up in an Africa where everything was spiritualized. And yes, I'm a spiritual person and I believe in spirituality. But in those days, people left everything to chance in the name of spirituality. So if somebody farms and the yam didn't do well, then they go and appease Shango or they go and appease Amadioha because they feel the the gods are angry with them. Unconsciously, even though our fathers or our forefathers kind of left that when they were colonized, the mindset was dropped in their children that have been dropping that in us in their children. So when I'm saying in their children, I'm talking to us on this call. So you see people go to work and they are just waiting to receive salaries, receive benefits. I mean, to think that Annie had run this program for over years. I mean, I know I joined this maybe 2022, 2023, and it's over 2 years. And nobody pays to be part of this section. Um, nobody charges anybody to be on this call. It shows something very different. And until we get to that point where you can identify as someone who will give a service, and making people pay for services is very good. I mean, you need to pay your bills. but that you identify a problem and you're looking for a way of solving this problem before looking for a complaint or looking for an excuse. It's a good way to go. And so I like for us to see that. I mean, one of the old beliefs is that Africans run their business and leave it to chance, leave it to God. So you're doing your business and you're not paying your taxes, and you're saying, I know God will come through for me. If anything happens, God will come through for me. You have a computer store and you have computers over 80 million naira, or in billions, and you don't have an insurance, and you say, I cover my shop with the blood of Jesus. Of course, the blood of Jesus will cover your shop, but God does not even support people that are careless. And one day you may have to pay the consequence of being careless. So I want for us to understand that this is a call to responsibility. This is a call to taking action.
Yeah.
This is a call to looking inwards and identifying where we are not doing it absolutely right, and being very deliberate in doing it the right way this time. Thank you.
No, beautifully said. Beautifully said. David, I'm glad you mentioned that we've been doing this for years and years and years, right? But again, I mean, it's the same with your beliefs. You have to, whatever it is, you're gonna have to do for years. I mean, Steve Jobs did Apple for years. I'm saying, Zuckerberg's been doing Facebook since when? Really? Elon Musk has been doing Tesla since the 70s. When you succeed, everyone thinks you've done it overnight. But you work. If you have a belief, which I've always had about this room influencing people's lives. Look, I've always taken the joy from the connections I make, the joy from you, from Tobiloba, from Michael, the Africans that I get to engage with, even Pastor Hebron as well, of course, right? And so now, say years on, I can see how we can turn it into a service. That's not just online. One as I mentioned just now, and actually going around and speaking events to inspire Africa. And I said that's that's the game. That's a beauty for me. That's beauty for all of us. I hope. Look, well said. Well said. I think the call to action is one. I think based on what you're saying, what Tobiloba has been saying, right? Dr. Augusta, look, I get you. It's these men, Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, and Mr. Musk. They of course they're clever men, but I think at the back of they knew what they were trying to do, and they believed it was going to happen. That's the point I think we're making. Whether you're smart or not, hard work, of course, but without the hard work and without the belief, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Well said, my friend. That's when Davida for sure. I say, and Gladys had to leave. She said, this is great. Loved everyone's contribution on the topic. My friends, look, humor me. And so this is how I'm going to end my speech at No Human is Useless conference, right? You can unmute or you can stay muted if you want. But I want you to repeat after me in his prayer, right? It's quite simple. So think about what you truly believe you can achieve, what you want to achieve, right? Your goal, your dream. Now, do you really believe it? Now, here's a prayer. Repeat after me, my friends. Look, I'm done with struggling.
I am done with struggling.
Thank you. I am done with struggling. I'm done with just surviving.
I am done with just surviving.
Excellent. I am tired of playing small.
I am tired of playing small.
And finally, my friends, I am ready to receive more.
I am ready to
receive more.
To do more.
To do more.
And to be more.
And to be more.
That's it, my Christ, my African brothers and sisters. Now go live your dreams, my friend. Go live your dreams. You can. It's yours, right? Go and achieve it. My friends, I thank you all for being here. Look, we're here again in 2 weeks' time. It's another thinking differently topic. So, Coach David is part of our party. he talks about divine inspiration, divine purpose. So likely we're going to talk about that. If not, I'm sure I'll bring Zion on to talk about positivity and how we need to use, how to really apply a part of positivity to grow our business and to become better professionals and live that happy, wealthy life that we deserve, right? that's the aim. Thank you so much, everyone. Look, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of your month. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.